The last time this happened, the price of Bitcoin exploded 676%, and it's just happened again. Does that mean we could be in for such an explosive price rally, or is the time before that perhaps a better indicator of what we might be able to expect moving forward for Bitcoin? Well, of course, we are talking about this MACD bullish crossover that you see right here. Now, this is on the 2-week charts. This gives us a much more smoothed out version of the price action for Bitcoin on a bigger time frame. Now we have that bullish crossover that has just happened, right? So now the question becomes, well, what does that mean when we have it in this particular area? And I'd like to really point that out, is that we are now in this, we are well below the zero line here, which is an area that tends to give us much stronger signals in terms of potential market movements, right? We see, for example, over here, and we are in those much higher price zones when we had the bullish crossovers. Those gave us those stronger indicators about a move down for the price. So if we go all the way back here to the last time that this happened, right? This was back in May of 2020. We can see that that bullish MACD crossover happened in an area that allowed for a 676% price increase. Pretty damn dramatic, right? That is a huge, huge move. However, I would like to point out this came after the Bitcoin halving that happened in May of that year. So that was basically the kickoff to a major new acceleration period in the bull cycle. I think that even though we are looking at the start of a new cycle, assuming that the bottom did come in at 15K back in November, that we could be in this new cycle period. But you have to remember, a new cycle period doesn't necessarily mean straight to the moon, right? We tend to have, with the Bitcoin 4-year cycles, we tend to have about a year of an accumulation period where we could have some pretty dramatic price moves. Because if we look back here, for example, this was the time before that we had this bullish MACD crossover happening. And that showed us something very interesting. We got a 250% rally from the time of that bullish MACD crossover, right? So this is the 2019 bear market rally, and we had this beautiful run up in price. We had a lot of stagnation through to the end of the year, and of course the big sell-off for the COVID crash in March of 2020. So is this what we're potentially looking at here? Not that post-Bitcoin halving move, which was the 676% move. Remember, the Bitcoin halving is not coming until next year, right? So it's about May of next year or something like that, March of next year. So we're still over a year away from the Bitcoin halving, after which I would be more anticipating this kind of price action to come into the charts, assuming that the Bitcoin 4-year halving cycle remains relevant, of course, and up to this point it has. Hopefully that lines up with easing monetary conditions and money flow back into markets more broadly. But for 2019, we had this rally, and perhaps for 2023, we are going to have a similar kind of rally where we have a price liftoff of maybe 200%, for example, or 180%, as I've been mentioning before, where we see the price coming back up to challenge 48K, which is a very, very major price area for Bitcoin and would fit in relatively well historically with how explosive these kind of crossovers can be and how big these bear market rallies can end up being. Now let's talk about the 200-day moving average. Now first we can take a quick look here at the 200-day exponential moving average, which is currently where the Bitcoin price is fighting a battle. That's the dark blue line on the chart here. Now this responds more to recent price action. What I'm very interested in and want to discuss with you is the simple moving average. That's the light blue line on the chart here. So this to me is the bull bear line. When the price is trading below this line, markets are in a very bearish state. When the price starts trading back above this line, that could indicate that the bulls are starting to take charge of the market again. And remember, we had pretty good volume on this move as well, so that is one of those kind of volume indicators that indicates that this move could potentially be the real deal if it doesn't falter out in the next few days, of course. But I just want to point out how significant it is that we are now trading above the 200-day simple moving average again, because the last time we did was December 2021, and that was on the way down as we broke through it, right? So that's been a long, gosh darn time. But you can see that coming back up, we tend to have explosive price rallies when we cross back over it, as we saw here in October 2021, as we saw here in August 2021. But what's even more interesting for me is it going back a bit further in the price action, because this was all happening when the market was kind of moving in a flat way with the indicator, right? With the moving average is kind of moving sideways approximately. Now we've had this incredible downturn, and now things are potentially turning around, which looks to me a lot more like the way the indicator looked moving into early 2019 when we saw the price have this massive breakout on volume, might I add. Look there, the volume confirming the move, right? So April 2nd, 2019, we had a big move that got us trading back above the 200-day simple moving average. That again led to a massive price rally. So from the time the price started trading above that until we went up to the peak, 191% move. Again, if we're looking at a 2019-like bear market rally, nothing's ever the same, right? Nothing's ever the same. Markets are always new, but they do rhyme. They do rhyme. If we see that kind of 2019 rally forming up because of this 200-day simple moving average crossover, could be a very exciting year for us in 2023. By the way, if you are a cryptocurrency trader, you need to get yourself an account over on Bybit. No fees for spot trading, up to $30,000 in deposit bonuses. Use the link down below in the description and find out why over 10 million traders trade on Bybit. Okay, that's it. Subscribe now. See you next time.